Hey guys, my name is Koushik and welcome back to LetCode. So in a previous couple of videos, we understood how to create a basic framework using the TypeScript. And we have written so many reusable functions. And in this video, we're going to see how to use those reusable functions in our TypeScript framework. And of course, I'm not going to go from the very basic, like how does TypeScript works or how we can write our TypeScript, Protractor script, basically. So already we have discussed about all the stuff in detail. So if you have missed that, probably you can watch my TypeScript editor playlist where I have discussed like why TypeScript is preferred and why we should use that in our test automation framework. And apart from that, also I have discussed about the page object model in detail, and I think I have done very good in that. So again, I'm not going to explain you how does page object model works or why we need that, right? So in this video, the agenda is very simple. Whatever we have built the reusable components, we are going to use that in our TypeScript framework. And of course, I'm going to combine that with the page object model. So let us understand first how this page object model we have created in JavaScript and how we are going to convert that into the TypeScript framework, right? So as of now, we have this pages where we have written all the UI elements. For example, if there is a login button, we have written the login button element, and then we write some business format like click on the login button or do login, something like. We have written all the methods or the functions in the business perspective. That is how page object model should be designed, right? Now, and after that, whatever the pages we have, using the pages, we have written our test where we have discussed like how we can call those elements in our functions, right? So just in case if you forgot that page object model, probably you can check this. So here we have the pages, and within that we have this header page, right? So we have segregated each and every element within the page in different classes, correct? So here we have the header where we have this sign up button, the login button, and the sign out button, right? So if I go back to the UI, probably you can see that we have sign out, sign ups, login, and if you are already logged in, you will be able to see the sign out button there, right? And apart from that, also we have exported this. So if you want to use any of the class in another class, of course we have to do the export, right? But this syntax doesn't look good to me. But in TypeScript, trust me, it's going to be more easy, right? Now let's see another page where we have the sign in, and within the sign in we have like import for the email, for the password, and the sign up button, right? So just in case if you forgot the UI, probably I can show you like we have this email, the password, and this login button. Now recently I added this forgot password element as well, so we can use that. I will leave that as an assignment to you. Now we have the sign up page, and within the sign up page we have few of the elements as we discussed earlier, so it's going to be very easy. Now using these elements, we have written some of the functions like enter the name, enter the password, or enter the email, click on term and conditions, and then click on sign up, right? So we have declared the variables, that is the elements within the same page as a private. This hash symbol denotes this elements or these variables are private. This belongs to this particular class. We cannot make use of this in another classes. So we have called this function in a script. Let me show you the script as well. So if I go back within this test folder, and here we have the sign up spec and the sign in spec. I mean sign up and the sign in spec, right? So here we can see that before all we are just maximizing the browser, we are setting the implicit weight, and for each and every test we are loading this particular URL. So at that point we have this local host, but it is now hosted in the letcode.in, so you can just change the URL, up to you, right? And then we have false few of the functions. We called all those functions and we are passed our test data using the JSON, right? Now each and every line we are using this async and await because that is how the goals has been designed. We are not going to follow the then and catch, the traditional way of handling promises. Rather we can use the ES6 syntaxes and we can go with the async and await, and we can save lot of time, and the code also will be like very less compared to the then and await. I mean then and catch, right? That's it. So that's quick recap. Now today we are going to convert all the JavaScript page object model into the TypeScript. So let's see how to do that. Okay. So before getting into the TypeScript, instead of writing all the stuff again and again, that will be simply waste of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a copy of this pages and we are going to convert all the files within that into the TypeScript. So I'm just going to copy and I will rename this as like pages-ts. So TS in the sense it's a TypeScript. Now within that, first we have to convert this files to the TS. Right? So it's just click F2 or right click and rename and convert this extension to the TS. That's it. It will work for sure. Nothing wrong about it. Okay. So I already have discussed it so many times that if you know JavaScript, probably you know already TypeScript. The difference, major difference is basically the syntactic sugar, right? So in JavaScript, we cannot restrict our data types to a particular thing. For example, in a function, I can receive the string as an argument, but I can pass the value as a integer and that will work, right? But in TypeScript, in the compile time itself, it will let you know that, hey, you are trying to pass a string, you should pass that only, you cannot pass any other data type. That's the major difference, right? So let me just quickly convert this into TS. And finally this class as well, so TS. And also we have the common folder where we have the header file, right? So we are going to convert this to TypeScript as well. That's it, pretty much done, right? Now let's see within the classes what are the things we need to take care. So let's go one by one. We are going to go to the header file, and first of all we are getting this error. It says that, hey, you cannot do like this box code. That is for JavaScript syntax. Here it's going to be very easy, right? So I'm just going to remove this one. And then first we have to export this class, right? So in JavaScript we have this syntax, we no need to use this, so we'll simply delete this. And let's go back to the class, and here we'll say like export and then followed by the class header, right? That's it, very simple. Now here instead of this hash symbol, you can just use Control D to select multiple the same character or the same word, and we can replace this by using the private keyword now. So private, that is how in TypeScript we have to declare, not the hash symbol. It should be within the TypeScript, the private scope, right? Now the functions are going to be very same, exactly very same. We don't need to change anything. Only this hash symbol we need to change. So you can just select this, Control D again, and just remove this backspace. That's it. Right. We are done now, right? Very good. Now also we learned that we can use the framework instead of this, right? So for example, dot click, we can write our custom framework, right? So we have already built that is the protector base class, right? So if we go back to this let base, and within this we have this protector base. So this is our base class, right? The hierarchy should be like your test script or the pages should extend the common. So we have this common as well, but we didn't write anything within this. So maybe I can just create a class very quickly. So export, not here, of course. So I have to write like common functions .ts. I'll just write this class as of now, but we are not going to do anything within the class. The common function is like, for example, if you have the maybe calendar, in few of the pages the calendar is going to be very same, we can write a function to handle the calendar. Or maybe if you have a drop down like the bootstrap drop down, where we have to click on that and then the pop-up will come, and from there we have to select, right? So all the stuff we can write as a reusable function within the class, right? So let's do the class first. So export class, and I will name this as common function, and that's it. Okay, so we are not going to write any code as of now. Maybe in another video we'll write some of the code, but as of now I'm just going to create a class name called common function. Okay, now let's go back to our script, that is the pages. So we'll start with the header page first, and here I'm going to say extend common functions, right? So here we are going to extend the common function, whereas common function is technically going to extend the protector base class. So here I'll say like extends, and that's going to be protector base, right? So multi-level hierarchy, multiple is not possible. Multi-level hierarchy we are following. So your pages is going to extend the common function, whereas common function is going to extend the protector base class, right? So that's the hierarchy it should be. Now let's go back to our header, and wherever we have this sign up button dot click or is displayed or get text, instead of that we are going to reuse, we are going to use our reusable components. Let's see how to do that. So I'll just comment this line as of now, and here we can say like await this dot click. And here you can see that as soon as I give this dot, you can see we are able to get all the functions that we have written in our base class, right? I will show you that as well. So here the action is click, and within the click, what we have to get, we have to pass the element finder, right? So this is the reason we have written few of the comments, so that whenever I do mouse over, I can get the documentation, kind of documentation, not the exactly, but kind of documentation, right? Now here we can say like what we want to click is basically this dot sign up button, right? That's it, pretty cool. Now you might ask me, Koushik, what is the use of this? Because here also we are doing this exactly same. Await and then sign up button dot click. But what I have done is this dot click, within that I have passed the element. So what is the benefit? When I use this dot click from the Protractor directly, it's just going to do the click action, correct? But when I use this dot click, that is we have defined our framework, our function within the class. If I go inside this, you can see that it is actually going to wait for the element to be clickable, and then it's going to do the click. Now even we can enhance this further using the try catch. So I can have try catch, and probably I can do the exception handling, all those stuff I can do. But I'm just going to very simple, keep it very simple as of now. Probably in future videos we will expand this with so many other details as well. Okay, I hope you got the idea. Now let's go back to our header page again, and let's convert all these files, right? So I'm just going to quickly do this. And here we are doing the validation, like expect this dot sign out is displayed or not, right? But we have created a validation function here itself. So if I go to this outline, and here you can see that we have accept, not accept, we have assert true, right? So if I go within the assert true, you can see that we are doing the validation as well as we are waiting for the element to be visible. So whenever the element is going to be visible, then only we are going to do the assert, right? So instead of writing the simple line, we can use this one as a true, right? So we no need to worry about all the stuff here. We can just simply comment this. I'm commenting just for your reference, so that in future, if you're seeing the GitHub code, probably you can get an idea, or else simply you can just delete it and probably you can write it very fresh, right? So here we'll say await and then assert, of course, this dot assert true, and within this we are going to pass the sign out here, right? So sign out, yeah, that's it. So you can see the difference here itself, right? So it's take much space, but whereas this looks very pretty and clean, as well as the syntax is very obvious, right? So that's it, pretty much done with our first file. Now let's quickly go to the second file, that is sign in, and I'm going to convert this page as well, right? So first we have to remove this guy, and then here we have to say like export. Why I'm not explaining what is export or what is this, because I already have discussed about it in detail. So kindly do check all those videos, that will definitely help you, right? Now let's quickly remove this hash symbol. So I'm just going to can do like Control C, Control F, copy and find, and we can replace this without any value. That means it's just going to simply remove wherever the hash symbol. So here also removed, here also removed, right? Now then what we have to do, this is fine. So this is, we are just finding the element. We are going to add the scope as a private. So click like alt and multiple places. You can just do the click and type like private, and that's it. And here we don't need, we can delete this. And here you can see that it's suggesting us that what is the data type we want to specify. So I'm going to specify this as a from the usage any, but we know that data type should be of string, right? So we'll just name this as string. And similarly here also we'll say like string, and for the click no argument, so no straight data type is needed here, right? Now let's quickly change this as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select and then use the probably you can use Control D to select the next line as well, and you can delete like this, just a shortcut. And I can just go back like this, and here I can say like this dot clear and type. Okay, we are not getting any suggestions because we have to extend this, right? So we'll say like extend, and then we can say like common functions, which internally extends to the Protractor base class, right? Now let's again we have to do from here. So alt then click and type like clear and type, open the bracket, close the bracket, and within this we are going to pass the data, right? So here it should be like email, and here it should be of password. That's it, very simple, right? So in this way we can use the VS Code extensively. There are so many shortcuts. Probably I can make a separate video on that. Do let me know in the comments. And here I'm going to say like dot click action. So that's going to be very simple. This dot click and then end key, and then that's it, right? Semicolon is not mandatory, but just to make it more reliable, we are just using this. That's it. Okay, so we are done with our two classes. Let me quickly do another two classes as well. So if I go back to the sign up page here, okay, so we have done our script. We have written all the reusable functions. I mean, we have used all the reusable functions. And here we have to say the export so that I can use this in my another class. Okay, so just have a let's quick recap. Before that, we have to convert this as well, but I will convert that maybe in later on stages. Or else we can just convert now itself. So here we can say that message type is going to be of string data type, and this import is not needed. And here we'll just add all the import statement. That's it, very cool. We have to add this dollar as well, and validate toast where we have to say like element to be visible, get displayed, get text, and then we are doing some invisibility as well, right? So we are going to convert this. So first we'll say like export class, and that should extend the common functions, right? So common functions. Okay, now you might get confused like what is this common and what is this common functions, right? So this common is for your common the page objects, right? So whatever the page objects you are seeing, if something is common like this one in this in my application, this header is very common for any of the pages, right? So if I go back to this input page, you can see the same header. If I go to this button page, you can see the same header, right? So this we have written in the common pages. This common function, let's say that we have an application where we have this kind of calendar, right? So if you have this kind of calendar, and this calendar is going to be replicated in many of the pages or few of the pages, then we no need to write the pages concept handling how to handle the calendar again and again. Rather, we can just pass the table ID or maybe the table dates, and based on that, table is going to do the selection. So for that, we can use the common functions, right? I hope you got the idea. Probably I will give you some demo maybe in later on stages. Okay. So here we can see that within that validate toast, we have written so many functions. I'm just going to comment everything. And what is the agenda of this? Probably we have to check for the visibility of the element, and we are going to assert few things, and then we are going to check for the invisibility as well, right? So let's see how to do that using the framework, right? So first we'll say like this dot. We have anything, so not this validate toast. Accept alert, accept text, and so let's go back to our common functions. I think we don't have anything here for that. Okay, we have this visibility off, and then also okay, we are using this visibility off within this asset true as well. So it is going to wait for the element, and then it is going to do the asset as well, right? So what can I do is probably I can say like this dot asset true, and within that I can pass this message as well, right? Not this message actually. Okay, so we don't have that function. Probably we'll write that in some another time. As of now, I'm just going to leave this as it is, right? So we have this expected conditions where we are waiting for the element and we are checking for the display, right? So I have function for this, so I can use this here. So I can say like um, okay, so I can say like this dot assert true, and here I'm going to pass the element, right? So that element is going to be my toast. So this toast message will we can change this to private technically. So private, and here also we are going to remove this one, right? That's it. And let's remove this. Let's remove this. So we are here we are doing some assert. So instead of this line, I can say like this dot assert text, and here I can pass my text. Two arguments basically. One is the element, and another one is the text, right? So here the text is going to be this message, and the element is going to be this toast here, right? Okay, very cool. Now let's do this as well. So for this, we are going to do the invisibility, right? So here I can say like this dot invisibility of, maybe if I have something like that. Yeah, I don't have, so let's quickly write that as well. Okay, so that is how the base should be work. If I don't have anything, probably we can just add it in our base class, right? So yeah, I don't have anything here, so let me quickly write here. So I'm just going to copy this and paste here, and visibility of, I am going to say invisibility of, and then the function should be invisibility of, right? That's it. Very cool. So element is still visible here. So this one is going to show in the console if there is any failure, right? Let's use this. This can be public actually, so we can use it anywhere, or maybe protected. That will be more apt. Let's go to our common functions and this common, and here you'll say like invisibility of this dot toast, and that's it. So let's go back. Yeah, correct, right? So very easy. So instead of writing so many things, we have just written in very simple manner using the framework, right? So that is what the use of framework. I hope you got the idea now why we need the framework and what are the things we have to keep on mind while writing the framework, right? So mostly just reusable function, right? As many as a reusable function, and then call that reusable function within your script, right? And of course, everywhere should be await keyword, or else of course we know that it won't going to work, right? So that's it. So that's it for the video. Probably in the next video we'll discuss like how to call this, I mean how to use this function in our test script, and few things need to be changed in the configuration file. I will talk about it in the next video. That's it for the video. See you in the next one very soon. If you like the video, consider giving a like. At least I'm expecting 10 likes today. And if you're new to the channel, kindly do the subscribe. See you in the next one very soon.